You have to rate Daniel. Obviously, he's a very, very, very good fighter. Obviously, to his career that he's had so far. But I feel like when me and him meet, it's going to be a different story. It's just a matter of time.
And I wouldn't have liked to saw either of them because I think the pair of those are past the best.
If they said to you, April, May, it's Dubois, or April, May, it's Usyk, you say immediately yes?
Of course.
No
I would be silly not to take that because I would end up in a better position.
Moses Itauma isn't waiting around to touch gloves with Dillian Whyte before setting his sights on even bigger prey. He's already calling out Daniel Dubois, and why not? Dubois crumbled under Alexander Usyk's relentless precision, while Moses is talking about matching Usyk's skill, stamina, and ring craft. That's not just
looking at fights to kind of get me into that later round because I feel like with Usyk, I feel like I've got a better skill set than him. But I feel like towards the later rounds, he'll just outdo me because I've never been in that sort of fight.
confidence. That's a young fighter publicly mapping out his journey to the very top, aiming to take 2 big scalps in rapid succession. It's not empty talk either. Moses understands exactly what those championship rounds demand, and he's honest about wanting to chase that experience. As he said before,
we're just looking at fights to kind of get me into that later round because I feel like with Usyk, I feel like I've got a better skill set than him. But I feel like towards the later rounds, he'll just outdo me because I've never been in that sort.
You showed what it takes to be at the top, but I believe I have the skills to match and even surpass that level. Every call-out and every round he fights edges him closer to proving those words under the unforgiving bright lights. Sky Sports' Adam Smith rates Moses Itauma highly, though he's still holding back on putting him past Usyk or Dubois just yet, and that's fine. Moses isn't in a rush. He's building.
When is he ready? I think he could beat most heavyweights in the world, with the exception possibly of Usyk and maybe Dubois, possibly edging of the top 3 or 4. He's not ready for them yet.
Learning and sharpening his tools, but when the moment finally comes, he's not talking about merely edging out Dubois. He's talking about dismantling him. That's where Carl Frampton's take adds another layer to the debate. Frampton can hype Dubois all he likes, but better than before still isn't good enough when the boxing world has already seen you fold under fire. Dubois might be dangerous early, but as Frampton knows, danger fades when the going gets tough, and that's exactly when...
Certainly a much more dangerous fighter than he was, so he does have a chance to win the fight, but in saying that, I've backed against Usyk a couple of times, and specifically the Fury fights.
Moses Itauma will rip him apart. Dubois has felt pressure before, but he's never felt Moses-level pressure. This wouldn't just be a loss for Dubois, it would be a demolition job. When even Alexander Usyk, a man who's seen and beaten the best, rates you at just 20 years old, you're not just promising, you're dangerous. Moses has the speed, the precision, and that thudding power that makes heavyweights question whether they really...
My name is Guy Itauma, Moses Itauma. I think he's a great fighter. The young, 20 years, yeah?
20.
Yeah, 20 years. I think Itauma have big future.
Really want to be in the ring with him. Dubois has already folded once under Usyk's shots. What's he going to do when Moses starts landing clean? At that point, it won't be boxing, it'll be target practice. Peter Fury doesn't hand out compliments lightly, yet here he is calling Moses Itauma a fabulous young talent who ticks all the boxes: speed, power, toughness, and heart. Yes, it's still early days, but the destruction Moses has already delivered speaks volume. His opponents aren't just losing, they're being dismantled in ways that leave no doubt about his ceiling. Moses moves comfortably in the ring, turning it into a hunting ground where he stalks, sets traps, and explodes with precision. Dubois might think size is his trump card, but power means nothing if you can't handle the pace, accuracy, and...
He's got speed, he's got power, he's tough, he's game. He ticks all the boxes so far. So let's see. Again, he's young. You know, he's not really been tested because what he's doing to these opponents. So let's see. It's early days, but big future for him.
Constant threat coming back at you. Fury's point is clear. The real test will come when Moses faces the elite. But at the rate he's developing, Dubois might just become a stepping stone on Moses's path to the very top. Mark Tibbs, meanwhile, talks up Dubois as being in a great place, a big, natural heavyweight. But we've heard this story before, haven't we? We heard it before Usyk broke him down mentally and physically. Size can only carry you so far. And while Dubois is certainly capable, capability means nothing when you're facing someone like Moses Itauma, a fighter who combines youth, fearlessness, and skill in one dangerous package. Moses isn't just a puncher. His ring IQ allows him to strip away an opponent's confidence before they even realize it's gone. Dubois may have grown.
I feel he knows and he's grown in confidence since that. I mean, he's in a great place, Dubois, and he can win that fight. He's a big natural heavyweight.
Grown in confidence since his defeat, but confidence can be shattered in a single round when a faster, sharper heavyweight keeps landing clean. Tibbs's belief in Dubois seems built more on physical attributes than mental fortitude, and if we've learned anything from Dubois' biggest fights, it's that mental fortitude has been the missing piece. Tony Bellew takes the conversation further, reminding us that in the heavyweight division there's a king, and everyone else is chasing him. That's the reality Dubois faced, and failed to conquer when he stepped in with Usyk. Moses, however, isn't looking to share the ring with the king for a payday. He's planning to take the crown. His mindset is set on climbing past these so-called big names by dismantling them, one by one. Dubois might be seeking redemption, but Moses is building momentum, respect, and fear before he's even reached his mid-20s.
These guys are begging now for the payday because they know who the king is.
That's right.
And these guys need him. He doesn't need them. Alexander Usyk can choose to fight whoever he wants. He is now the draw in the heavyweight division. He is the big name.
20s. Bellew's point about the king cuts both ways. When Moses keeps winning, he won't be chasing Dubois or anyone else. They'll be chasing him, desperate to share the spotlight. Frank Warren's words after Dubois' loss to Usyk painted the picture perfectly. Disappointment, lessons to learn, and the reality that time is ticking. At 27, Dubois is no longer the fresh young heavyweight with unlimited years ahead. Meanwhile, Moses is 7 years younger and already displaying the composure, skill, and mentality needed to dominate at the highest level. Dubois might have a chance to rebuild, but his comeback path runs straight into one of the most dangerous young prospects in the division. Learning from losses is one thing. Surviving Moses's relentless pressure, speed, and precision is another. Frank's
Daniel's obviously very disappointed. He's in the dressing room at the moment, and if he's going to come back, he's got to learn from it. He's only 27.
Tone about Dubois sometimes feels protective, as if Dubois still needs nurturing. Moses doesn't. He's already talking about dethroning Usyk and tearing through the top contenders. If they meet, it won't be a learning experience for Moses. It will be a brutal reminder for Dubois. Joe Rogan's take adds weight to the hype. When Rogan says a fighter is next level, it's not empty praise. He's seen every style, from overhyped prospects to proven champions, and Moses Itauma has convinced him. This isn't just about throwing punches. It's about how Moses makes opponents look lost before the real damage even starts. His movement isn't just for show. It's calculated to make bigger men like Dubois swing at shadows until they gas out. His angles mean he lands clean while staying completely out of harm's way. His feints are mental jabs, chipping away at an...
He's got just unbelievable movement. His angles, the way he boxes, his fucking feints and movement, total next level.
Opponent's belief. And when that belief cracks, the rest of the fight becomes a formality. Dubois may be a big natural heavyweight, but when that big frame is chasing a ghost, he'll burn energy twice as fast. Rogan's prediction? We'll see an even sharper, more dangerous Moses in his next outing. And if that outing is against Dubois, it could get ugly very quickly. Gareth A. Davies has also taken note. When a respected boxing journalist calls a fighter fascinating, it's more than a throwaway comment. It's a sign that Moses is forcing people who live and breathe the sport to pay attention. The chatter ringside isn't just about who's winning now, it's about who will dominate tomorrow. Moses's name keeps coming up, and not by accident. Francis Warren's observations about the growing ringside buzz are telling. The hype isn't coming from a single source, it's swelling.
World wanting to go there because Moses Itauma is fascinating. I spoke to Francis Warren ringside on Saturday night. You had a microphone as well. Were you allowed to put the pressure on them to speak, because I just did anyway.
From all directions, trainers, promoters, journalists, and fighters are all talking about Moses as the next big thing. Meanwhile, Dubois' name comes up with a question mark attached. Can he bounce back rather than can anyone stop him? That's the gap. Spencer Oliver, never one to overhype a prospect, is already predicting how Moses' story will play out. Oliver doesn't just think Moses can beat Dubois, he thinks he can do it in style. In boxing, winning in style is a different beast entirely. It means imposing your will, dictating every exchange, and making a dangerous opponent look ordinary. If Moses does that against Dubois, the ripple effect will be massive. Overnight, he'll go from young prospect with potential to the heavyweight nobody wants to face. Oliver's prediction that Moses will win a world title isn't blind optimism. It's rooted in watching how composed, calculated, and lethal he is inside the ropes. Dubois was once touted as a
everything, because he knows it's last chance saloon for him. He needs the victory here. So, look, we find out just how good Moses Itauma is, I think, on the 16th of August when he boxes Dillian Whyte, because I think he wins it and wins it in style. But everyone they put in front of him so far, he's just dismantled. I think this kid's going to go on and win.
Future champion, but he's already had his chance and came up short. Moses' rise isn't about handing out second chances. It's about taking opportunities for himself. If Oliver is right, Moses isn't just a future champion. He's the new benchmark for what a heavyweight should be. This potential fight isn't just another heavyweight clash. It's a collision of two careers heading in opposite directions. Moses Itauma, just 20 years old, is the young lion tearing through everyone in his path. Fearless enough to call out Daniel Dubois before even dispatching Dillian Whyte. Dubois, on the other hand, is still shadowed by the night Usyk made him crumble. His natural heavyweight frame is starting to feel more like a burden than a weapon. If Moses wins, he skyrockets into conversations about the division's elite, proving his speed, power, and ring IQ aren't just height, they're a nightmare for anyone at the top. If Dubois pulls off the upset, it's redemption. But to get there, he'll have to survive the kind of relentless, precise assault he's never endured before. Mentally, Moses is sharper. Physically, he's faster. And when it comes to hunger, just look at who's been chasing the fight. This is more than bragging rights. It's a career-defining moment for both men. So the question is simple. Are you backing Moses Itauma to claim another scalp on his way to the heavyweight crown? Or do you believe Daniel Dubois can shock the world?